Alright, well, making our way to the Pokemon League, I suppose. We were going to have a Gibble and that would evolve into a Garchomp to have as part of like our final team, but Muffin Jr., our Gibble, has unfortunately been banished to the Shadow Realm. So it seems like we now have Wario the Weasel instead to take on our way to the league. I don't know if we're actually gonna like beat the league right now. Like again, we could go do like the Mount Coronet stuff, but I don't know. I'm just kind of running around and like battling nerds and having fun and stuff like that. Is kind of what's happening right now. Let's just see here. I'll go ahead and spark. Wario could use that experience anyway, I suppose. So what could happen? Oh man, this has certainly been one heck of a playthrough, hasn't it? I could always go to the route that's approaching Sunny Shore? Sunny Shore. I technically never battled the trainers there apart from that one sailor that I needed to get into Sunny Shore. So I could always like go back there and battle those Dudos is what I could do. Do I want to use a repel? I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely having a big think about it, I definitely must say. But yeah, we could even battle those trainers in front of Sunny Shore, because I've never battled them, is the thing, you know? So we could always go do that, and that might not be a bad idea. Because I've heard that this league is apparently very, very scary, and I want to be prepared, you know? Get the levels that I can, and be very prepared about that. In the meantime, what other new stuff can I talk about that I haven't really mentioned yet? I did finish off the Diamond and Pearl Adventures manga. I'm now all the way through, like, all 8 of them, is the thing. I made it. I read through them all. And honestly, I really liked it, quite frankly. Like, I remember really liking it back in the day, but it's been, you know, a long time. If I can beat you, I'm going to the Pokemon League. Let's see that super awesome animation. My favorite ball throwing animation in the Pokemon series. Bam! Look at that! I love that. It hits it like volleyball. I love it. It's so dang good. But yeah, I finished. You had to use X items to beat the league. Wow. Maybe we'll use some X items. And welcome back once again, Guzma. But yeah, so I finished off the Diamond and Pearl Adventures manga, and it was actually like really fascinating. So anybody watching this that doesn't want spoilers for this manga from over a decade ago, freaking tune out now, I guess, or something like that. So it was really interesting in that, you know, a while back I was talking about how I finished like the main story with like the stuff at Spear Pillar and whatnot, but it continued going on, kind of like how these games would have like a post game and all the stuff on like the one island and whatnot. So there's like some subplot stuff going on with like Heatran and stuff. And it was really interesting. It did the plot of Diamond and Pearl for the most part for like the main story for like the first 5, and then the latter 3 kind of adopted part of the plot of Platinum essentially. So it was interesting in like the first 5 novels of this manga, they were going after Dialga and whatnot, and that was the plot. And then, you know, after Team Galactic is defeated in at the end of the 5th thingamabob, and you know the post game starts, it's like what's that guy's name? Charon, I think his name was. That one like Platinum executive guy that I barely even remember from my Platinum playthrough because he was not important there at all. The manga was like, oh, he's the new big bad of Team Galactic and he's taken over, and he freaking literally kidnapped Cyrus and like tied him up and locked him in a room was the thing. So part of the plot even involved like rescuing Cyrus, and together with Cyrus you were able to like thwart Charon on his goal to, you know, secure Giratina essentially. Came here because I wanted to see the Pokemon League for myself. Wow. So it was interesting seeing like Cyrus's motivations were like creating a new world, you know? He wanted to like recreate the universe and make this new ideal world and such. Whereas Charon, he just wanted like money and power, was all he wanted. And Cyrus was like disgusted with Charon's motivations there. But, you know, he'd let himself be captured anyway because he wanted to see what Charon could do, like, for Team Galactic. Like, where would this lead? But after he was rescued, he was like, okay, very well, let's go stop him now that, you know, I'm seeing like how in danger things are if he's going after Giratina like that, you know. So it was interesting for the finale. It's like together with the other Team Galactic Dudos and like the commanders to stop this other Dudo from getting Giratina. It was kind of interesting. from that perspective. And I really like that kind of idea. Really miss Charon. Look, I can't believe they just cut them out in Brilliant Diamond Shine Pearl. Yep. Why make a remake of a superior game when you can make a remake of a inferior one? I actually started tuning into a video essay of Brilliant Diamond and Shine Pearl recently that I haven't gone through the whole thing yet. I'll probably watch the rest later tonight. But the intro, the comparison that the guy made, I thought was really interesting. It was like, imagine that there are like these two burgers, and one burger, Diamond and Pearl, is like all right, but it's also got like all this mold and like old stuff on it, and the patty's not quite there. So later, this other burger was made that's Pokemon Platinum, and it's actually like a really solid burger with all these things. So when you're, trying to recreate that formula over a decade later, what they choose to do is to remake the moldy burger and not the good one. I thought that was a kind of interesting comparison there. I'll have to finish watching that at some point later today, methinks. Yeah, he is kind of like a voice of reason in the post-game arc there. And I thought that was really interesting. It makes me really intrigued about, like, what if a game like this was doing that kind of thing where, you get to see this other perspective and see how they can, like, if they set their mind to it, they can also be a force for good, And I found that really fascinating in a way. I thought that was a really freaking neato. I thought the finale of, like, when it came to the finale of, like, the main plot in that manga, the whole main story, I feel like the stuff at Mount Coronet could have maybe been handled a bit differently. I thought it was pretty alrighty, but wasn't super about it there. But the finale of like the overall story at the end of the 8th one, that was a really, really nice ending, and like really, really fitting, essentially. Like, I guess once again, kind of spoiler territory. As I was reading this, the plot was like, oh, Giratina's freaking pissed as hell because Sharon tried to control it and whatnot. So the heroes have to like battle Giratina to try to get to calm down and such. But partway through, the battle stops being like about calming down Giratina and becomes just like having a battle for the sake of having a fun battle against Giratina, and that's what it becomes for Giratina as well, as it starts like taking the battle more seriously and fighting more all out and genuinely enjoying this really, really good battle and really resonating with the heroes in that way. It was a really neat thing to see. So, Giratina winds up knocking out all the heroes' Pokemon, and it's like, well, what the hell do we do now? Our freaking Pokemon are knocked out. And then, so Dialga and Palkia show up, and they're like, surprise, bish, we're gonna fight Giratina. And so there was in the manga, there was this big battle between, like, the 3 legendary Pokemon. Like, not because, and with Dialga and Palkia being a tag team that set aside their differences to battle Giratina. Not because, like, Giratina was, this evil force that needed to be stopped, but just for the sake of having a fun battle. I thought that was really neato. A whole bunch of citrus berries are brought to restore everybody, because it comes out that, like, oh, we actually really need to stop Giratina right now, because Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina fighting is gonna, like, tear a hole in reality or something, and the world's gonna end, so we need to stop this battle and stop Giratina right now. And the hero just goes ahead and gives a citrus berry to Giratina too, like, here, you take one, you need a heal up since you're tuckered out as well. And now I'm gonna fight on your side, on Giratina's side. So I thought it was really cool and charming how the hero that had this really carefree attitude and just loved the joy of the battle and like making new friends and connections and stuff like that at the end of the story literally didn't even care about the world being on the brink of collapse and prioritized like having as long and fun of a battle as he could. And I thought that was really charming. I quite enjoyed that. I do have to say I thought that was a neato kind of thing. Some of the more specific kind of like broader, or some of the more broad plot things, like you were asking Morris about the equivalent of Dawn within that story having been like an ex-member of Team Galactic. I thought that was a really cool thing that gave like that kind of, mysterious nature that made you intrigued for like what led her down this path and what was the past here and stuff like that. And I thought that the flashback scenes of like Professor Rowan showing her as a Team Galactic member, the beauties of, hey, sweet, the beauties of like Pokemon and interacting with them and like what friends they can be, was like a really cool thing, and were like some really, really cool panels to have seen there. And I really quite liked that. I really quite liked how there, was the fateful confrontation between the hero and, this character that had been a friend but had been turned back to Team Galactic because of a hostage situation, Let's see here. Floatzel is what I must add. So this should be Floatzel's number 419 then, right? 419. Yep, 419 in the national dex. Okay, well, boopity bop. We put you here like this. So I'll turn off Weasel and put you underneath the text like that. And there we go. Something like that might extend you out like a smidge. There we go. Something along those lines. There we have it. Will this be the team that we take into battle the league? It would have been Muffin Shark if he wasn't banished to the Shadow Realm. Here we are, I suppose, or something. Hey, I need experience and stuff like that. Yeah, the freaking Milotic panel was like one of the best. There was one with like Chimchar for like being given a starter Pokemon by Professor Rowan of Chimchar. And then one of like Professor Rowan showing her the lake. And a Milotic coming out and like showing this like night sky beauty with like the stars shining. It was really cool. And it was also a really cool nod how like Milotic was part of her party later on in like the present day. That was a nod to that. It might have been the same Milotic. And I thought that was like a really cool touch and really cool attention to detail in that way. I really enjoyed it overall, quite frankly. And, you know, it's made me really reflect on how, you know, the main series Pokemon games typically don't have all that crazy of plots unless it's like, you know, black and white, I guess. But it's made me wonder, like, why does it have to be that way? Because this has the potential to be like really cool and intriguing stuff like that. Because I actually really enjoyed what I went through with that, honestly. I'm really glad that I took the time to reread it. I thought it was really neato, quite frankly. Let's go ahead and take out this Finneon here. Because, like, Pokemon has always had, like, you know, the same format in a lot of regards. Like, one of them being, you are a silent protagonist that goes through no development whatsoever. Like, it's, you know, how do I phrase it? Like, your character doesn't change at all as the story goes on. If your character does change, it's just in your head, essentially. Like, as a silent protagonist, for you to imagine that this character is you going on this journey. Which, in a way, kind of makes sense. But it, you know, it does mean that, you know, your story is going to lack a lot of depth unless you can find some other workarounds. Pokemon Black and White was a perfect example of a workaround, because I would argue that N is the main character of Pokemon Black and White, and the player character is the main supporting character in the story. Because, you know, Pokemon Black and White, like every other Pokemon game, your character stays the same throughout the whole thing and is just like, you know, a plot device for going on this adventure and you applying yourself to this character here. But N is the character that actually, like, develops as the story go on. Pokemon Black and White, in my opinion, is like N's story. So they have someone who isn't the player character as the main character, as a workaround to still be able to tell an in-depth story. And it's kind of similar to how I would argue in Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Unlike the other Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, in all the other Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, I'd say the player is the main character and the partner is the main supporting character. But in Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, I would argue that the partner is the main character, while the player is the main supporting character. And that's the kind of way that it was with Pokemon Black and White. They were able to have like a workaround to an in-depth story by having their main character not even be the player. I thought that was a really fascinating thing, and has been surprising to see Pokemon like sort of pursue, but not really since then. Like Generation 6 with AZ sort of attempted it, but could you really argue that AZ is the main character of you know, Generation 6? He's more of like a side kind of main important character that has to do with like the overall lore and story, but you know, whether he's there or not isn't gonna change like the outcome. He doesn't directly play a part in the story. He's just kind of there. He played a part in like the past in the lore, but he doesn't really play an active part in the story in the here and now, unless I'm forgetting, because it's been a long time since I played X and Y. But N is like always there and like developing and is seemingly like your main antagonist for a large part of the story. But he never feels like he genuinely, you know, has it out for you. Like he's an antagonist with humanity in him, and it makes me wonder why like other games hadn't done that. Or even just games that adopted something like the manga that I was reading, where the player is like an actual human person with their own personality that develops as it goes on, as opposed to just being like a completely silent protagonist that does nothing that you know, you are meant to, I assume, attribute your own self and personality, you know? I have a bag of some like electronics here in some of the Doggy's space because I had to move it so that it wouldn't get, you know, wet. I'm sorry, Jesse, I'm sorry. I had to move it away from the area that's getting super wet, so Toki doesn't have as much space back there as she normally would because of the very minor flooding going on in this room. But yeah, let's see here. Characters had a character that changes the characters around them. Does your character really change the characters around them in like any main series Pokemon game apart from Black and White, really? Good static characters such as Goku from Dragon Ball. Is it bad that I've never seen Dragon Ball? I know that when I was in elementary school, it was a thing that everybody had seen. Imagine if Pokemon had multiple endings, like where you could join the evil team and take over and find out where things take them afterwards or beat them like usual and have alternate endings in it. Imagine if something like Legends wound up doing something like that, where, you know, if it was like an open world kind of thing, you could take like multiple different routes and ways to do things. Izzy's the cursed immortal seeking redemption. Was he super important for the, you know, Generation 6 story apart from like the overarching lore? He's quite relaxed there. It seems like, okay, time for Victory Road maybe? Or we could go battle the trainers on the, let's go battle the trainers on the way to Sunny Shore, actually, because it really does seem like I'm gonna need all the experience I can get, so, you know, I'll do that. We can fly here whenever we want, so let's go do that. Like, I guess at any point here, we could go to Mount Coronet and, like, stop Team Galactic and stuff, but, meh. I wonder what the game would think if you beat the champion before Mount Coronet. Like, if you can do that, and what the game would think about that. Like, I'm not sure what I'd be expecting with that. There is one trainer I won't battle on this route. I won't battle the tuber down to the south, just in case I am ever able to use it for the surf on land glitch, but I might not be able to. But yeah, the main character from the manga is a static character on the right. He changes those around him for the better. What, from the Diamond and Pearl Adventures? He changes like a smidge, but I guess he is from that perspective. When I say like, you know, a character that isn't changing and doesn't really do anything from this context, from these games, I'm talking about this literally being like a silent protagonist in these main Pokemon games that, you know, literally don't do anything but go around and battle and that's it, you know? You have to do the Veilstone stuff. Oh yeah, wait, was that a thing in Diamond and Pearl, or was that just like a Platinum thing? I guess there is like Veilstone stuff there, right? But yeah, I guess his personality does mostly stay the same, but you know, at least he's a character. At least he has a personality, is what I mean. Like in this game that we're playing right now, your character doesn't have any personality. There are characters that have personalities. Is there any character in this entire story that changes at all for the Generation 4 Pokemon story? Is there? But yeah, Diamond Pearl thing as well. Okay, gotcha. Your inner tube, huh? Yeah, thanks for saying my Pokemon are looking good. I appreciate it, man. Alright, who else to battle around here? Hi. Who's that? Oh, kid, you scared me. You scared me, kiddo. Did he have two flashlights? Police Officer Thomas. He has headphones in or a headphone? Wait, now he just has the one flashlight. He had like a flashlight in his left hand and he had like a glow stick in the right or something. Strange. But who am I to question it? Wait, can't you catch Floatzels on this route? Would we be able to catch like a stronger Floatzel than the one that we captured, you know, not that long ago that's like in its 20s? We probably could, but we can't do Wario dirty like that. We can't do that. There's no way. There's absolutely no chance, you know? Alright, level up. Yeah, level 29. Double hit. Sure, I don't know. Talking about characters like that, not silent protagonist. Yeah. There could be some very intriguing silent protagonists, like Samus, for example, where it's like, oh, what's her backstory and what's going on here? And, you know, see how she's, like, feeling and expressing those feelings with, you know, her expressions and her actions. Like the finale of Metroid Dread was a really good example of that, for example. But Pokemon silent protagonists are just like, yeah, it's just whatever you imagine them as, essentially. But it has definitely made me wonder, like, what would main series Pokemon look like if that wasn't the case and you actually had, like, a developing character and, like, a story-driven thing. Because Pokemon games always seem to have, like, really fascinating lore, but not really fascinating plots, you know? Is the way that I've kind of seen it. Bit of a scary cat's always paying close attention to everything. Are you now? Are you now doing that? I'm tempted to check some of the grass. I am tempted to. I will get this item that's over here, I suppose. As well, do. Go ahead and cut it. Boopity bop. Well, there we go. How do I properly put this into words? The whole idea of having, like, in the originals, you have a tree here and then an item. It's like, okay, the player is obviously going to have access to cut at this point, but do they actually have a Pokemon on their active party that can use cut? If so, they can get the item. If not, they can't. Like, that's the reward here. They're obviously going to have cut by this point. But do they have a Pokemon active in their party who can use it? If so, they get the reward. But in this, like, I'm all down for, you know, HMs being infinite use and, you know, you don't have to teach them to anyone in your party or anything like that. But when you handle, like, your HM puzzles and rewards in the exact same way as the original, then it negates the whole point of the original here. Because the original was like, you have access to cut, but do you have someone in your party that has it? If so, you get the reward. If not, you do not get the reward and you have to come back for it later. But in this, because you have access to it at all times, you always get it no matter what. And it therefore takes out any point of there being any tree here. So the fact that everything HM related in this game was handled like the exact same way as the originals means that, you know, the actual reason that you're being rewarded for doing X thing no longer applies, and it's just pointless to even have a tree like that there in the first place. And oh man, like, having HMs set up like this is fine, but if you have, like, the things that you interact with for HMs in the world set up in the exact same way as the original, then it completely loses the meaning of, like, getting X reward for having X thing at a time, because you're always gonna have that thing at the time. So, like, I'm glad that you can use HMs whenever and not have to teach them to your own Pokemon, but that means that you now have to find some new ways to factor in, like, HM related stuff in the overworld if it's gonna lead to certain rewards, and they didn't even bother to consider it. So, you know, but yeah, it's definitely been a little while since playing Let's Go, but I'm gonna have a quick look in the grass around here. That's what I will do. There's a Gastrodon. Blarg. Big stretch and groan from the doggy. Charm of having it there, even if it's not a necessary thing. I'm pretty sure that's just for the sake of being, like, as super one-to-one as possible. I'm not really certain that I'm not sure that I'd call a single tree, a single little twig blocking your path to an item exactly a charm factor. Let's see here. I'll switch to here. We haven't walked with Akira in, like, a long time, or ever really. I'm not quite sure. I'll look around at, like, some Pokemon over here of curiosity. But yeah, which is a flaw with the modern HM system and remakes of games with the old system. Like, yeah, so it uses the modern HM system, but, like, the way that you actually use the HMs here is still the old system, and these don't mesh. Call the Gastrodon Gary's mod? I wasn't even planning on catching the Gastrodon. There's something Gastrodon related in a Gary's mod? Is that a thing? Oh my goodness, this Gastrodon really wants to say hi over here or something, it seems like. Very much wants to just, I don't know why there's that one frame where it bugs the hail out and stuff, but it just does. Well, I'll just go ahead and do this, I suppose. Fine. You'll be some experience for Wario, I guess. What is that center thing for Gastrodon anyway? Don't tell me that Gastrodon has always had 3 eyes. I've always just seen it as 2 and, like, a symbol at the top or something. Don't tell me that this entire time Gastrodon has had 3 eyes. I never realized. Don't be another Gastrodon, I swear. Are you actually kidding me right now? What the hell? What the hell? This is, the odds of this happening so many times in a row must be ludicrously low. Yeah, Gary the Snail plus mod. Oh, I thought you were referring to Gary's mod. The freaking game thing above. It's an eye. It is. Really? I've never seen it as 3 eyes. I still can't properly visualize it as 3 eyes. I don't think. What the heck? As Gary's mod is a game that exists. Come on! Open movement in this sucks. Yeah, so you can catch better floatsels around here. That's what can be done. But what I would even want to is the question. Like, we can't turn our back on Wario unless someone can come up with, like, maybe a better name or something like that. I don't even know. Whirlpool. Io, how dare you? Because part of me is almost tempted to, just because I know that the league is going to be really tough. Ooh, even after I said that stuff on, not turning our back on Wario. I don't know about Swiper. Because every time I'm going to think Swiper, no swiping. Every time I see you, but, hold on. I'll try Premier Ball. Didn't know I had 3 eyes like a week ago? What the heck? I'll try Premier Ball. Oh yeah, I need to stock up on Pokeballs, don't I? Because this would technically make the most sense, you know? Considering, this is gonna be tough, our stuff coming up, you know? Like, I don't know here. What might be better name? I don't know. Mortis Redeem, name a Pokemon? What's it gonna be, huh? What's the name redemption gonna be for, though? Taco Bell. I don't know about Taco Bell. But apparently the point redemption was there, so apparently this is Taco Bell now. I don't think I can see myself using a name like Taco Bell in the end, so I'm sending this one to a box. Oh, come on. Ah! Mr. Mime out here. I prefer Wario over taking Taco Bell along with us, I think. Well, I'm just gonna earthquake the Mr. Mime, I guess, or something like that. Did it for the memes. I did it for the family. Wow, Mr. Mime fainted. See you later, nerd. See you later. Bam. I'm getting some levels and stuff here, I guess, or something. Okay, there's got to be something up here. I went through so many random encounters to get up here. Is there actually nothing? Okay, there's a full restore there, apparently. I was just mashing A. Okay, I was mashing A a little bit too much. Mashing A just a smidge too much there, I suppose. There's another Flitzel. There's another one, huh? Another one. Boing, boing. What happens if I crunch you as well? What happens? What occurs here? Well, you just get one shot. Planted a critical hit, wishing to be praised. Wow. Wario it is. I guess. Wario it is, I suppose. Who's slowly getting there. I guess. Something. Hi. I'm quite bored. Care to break the monotony? You wanna break the monotony of what it feels like playing this game? Rich boy Trey, huh? Isn't that Luxio? Oh. Ow. Well then. Alright, go ahead and send out good old Malos here to earthquake that city, Luxio. Yeah, intimidate. Do your thing, Bob. Doogie here is quite content and relaxed. I've been continuing to... What? This pillow's coming off. What? This needs to go back onto the, there we go, thingamabob like that. From time to time, I'd be going over to my, my Oma's place, and I bring the Doogie along whenever I go for a visit. And Jessie here loves going for visits, like, especially because she knows she gets very spoiled when she's over there. She gets lots of cheese and salami and meat scraps and stuff. She gets very, very spoiled over there. Hi. Enjoy a meal at the hotel restaurant. One has a battle. That's a social etiquette. Is it really now? But with it being winter now, I don't want to, you know, bring over a Doogie who's got, like, super wet paws and is gonna be, you know, tracking through the house if she's, been trekking through the snow a whole bunch. So I'd wipe her paws before letting her into the house over there. And my goodness, she is so tunnel visioned on like one thing at a time, especially something that she's like really excited about, like going for a visit. So if we're at the door and she's waiting to like be let in, She straight up growls at me when I try to wipe her paws before going in. She's like, stop, just open the door and let me in. I don't have time for this. This is what she's like. So that's been something recently. That's certainly been something. She really doesn't like getting her paws wiped and having to wait before being let in. She's like, freaking just let me in. What are you waiting for? You know, so there's that. Hi, Traveler. How would you like to battle? I would love to battle. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking me that. I could always switch to Soleil for fighting the fishermen is what I could do. You've got a Magikarp. But yeah, so I think that's something kind of funny for her to do. Is how freaking grumpy she gets about me trying to wipe her paws. So she doesn't track. And she's waiting to be let inside. She's like, just let me in. Just let me in. What are you doing? When I try to wipe her paws. So, there's that. There's that there. Part of me is honestly tempted to turn off, like, the battle animations just for, like, these doodles and stuff, but I won't, I guess. We'll stay out here. Is the Wario text larger than the other one? Should I make it a little bit smaller? Whoa. Dang it, I can't do it together. Gosh darn it. Well, it's set at the size it is now, I guess, or something. It's just kind of set there, I suppose. Yeah, we'll both be really intimidating. Real intimidating. In some other news, this university semester for my actual classes is done now. And next week I have a whole bunch of finals. Like, again, this is gonna be like a very different date by the time this is uploaded, if anyone's watching this on YouTube after the fact. It's currently the 8th of December is when I'm shooting this. As of today, my lectures are now done for my this semester. So I have like several finals next week, and then next week will be like my last week there, and then it'll be winter break for a couple of weeks before the next semester. I haven't actually queued up my classes, like enrolled in classes for the next semester properly yet. Maybe I'll do that later tonight. Maybe I'll do that later tonight. That's probably not a bad idea. Probably should have done that freaking forever ago. I have some classes for the next semester, but not all of them. Look at this freaking beach just being like a vast desert over there. It's crazy. But yeah, so one more week is going to be a whole bunch of studying for finals and stress with that and whatnot. And then we'll see what game-related and channel-related stuff I can catch up on when I have like the couple of weeks during winter break. We shall see. We shall see what comes of it and what I'm able to do with that. Maybe catch up on some of our playthrough-related stuff, because I'm always gonna be behind, you know? Is the case. Yeah, the stars at least look really pretty, but the beach is just a vast desert that just goes on. Look at that. Yes, this is what I imagine I'd see around me if I go to the beach. Oh man, how weird. I think this is like the one battle environment that I really haven't liked. is the beach one. And the beach one sounds like one that'd be like one of my favorite ones, but just this thing. Boobity bop, take that, Remoraid. Take that. That's it. I knew you could do it. You could do the thing. Opposing Remoraid fainted. Yeah, when we do eventually go to do the Mount Coronet stuff, we're gonna freaking mop up. But yeah, got Legend Arceus, Elden Ring, and Assassin's Creed at the start of 2022. You know we. I can talk about the actual game situation right now. Is what I could do. So like, what we actually, I need to move the Weasel Floatzel Wario stuff down so that when I hit display capture here, it doesn't show that stuff. I'll just use Spark. You won't be able to see it, but you'll know what happens. Our current ongoing stuff, I still have at least one more session of Dark Souls 3 to go to, you know, finish off like the DLC and the other bosses and stuff like that. We have this, which is, you know, what we're working on right now. Minecraft stuff is like, I don't know how long it's gonna be. It's just gonna like last until, you know, we're done doing it, I guess. So we're doing like Hive and Vine over on Shuck's channel, and I'll have to add it to the layout here, but Peculiar Potions over on my channel. So I'm gonna be committing to those like a decent bit. I've already been committing to it like pretty hard, and it's what's distracting me from some other stuff. Maybe during winter break is maybe when I go and do like Tales of Arise stuff. Maybe. I'll think about it. We've covered all the things that I wanted to cover for Mario Party Superstars, but there are still some rematches I need to do with some nerds, and some people that I need to like play against like at all, like that Snivy's nerd, for example. During the 25-hour charity stream recently, we started this Planet Coaster Park that I called Harmonia's Holiday Hideaway 2021. So I've been meaning to work on it a little bit here and there, like leading up through the holidays, and I just kind of haven't. So, I should be obligated to do that at some point here. The only other new thing that, I guess this is starting, like, this is being uploaded, like, very soon. And I'm already working on it. December 16th here, which, again, by the time this is uploaded on YouTube, it'll already be up. I plan on doing this as a co-op series with Chuck. So this current stuff, if I can finish off some things, like, at least get Harmonia's Holiday Hideaway to a place where, you know, I'm confident ending that off. Dark Souls 3, I might be able to do in, like, one more session. I'm not sure how much, like, I don't know how much post-game, we'll do all the main post-game stuff in Brilliant Diamond. I don't think we're gonna do things like catching every legendary we can like we did in Platinum, but we'll see. This is gonna be ongoing no matter what. And I'm gonna have to see about stuff like this, and hopefully this won't take, like, super duper long, you know? And then, you know, if I don't want to start anything new in that time, because, like, even if we finish off all these things and I don't start anything new, the Minecraft stuff that's going on, the amount of editing time that I put into things is already more than enough to, like, keep me busy with things, so I probably won't be starting anything new. I'll think about it, but, I might potentially be like, you know what? Let's not actually do Assassin's Creed Unity on January 1st. I might just not. We probably will, though. We probably will. We shall see. But if I do tackle this stuff then and there while having the Minecraft stuff going on alongside it, that means that by that time, I for sure need to have this done. I'd feel a lot better with this done, like with all the post-game and stuff, and this too. So, you know, I'd feel a whole lot better about that if I had all those things done by then. So I feel like winter break might be a little bit of a mad rush to get through our current stuff, because I can deal with those additional things that we'd be doing at the beginning of next year with AC Unity, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and Elden Ring. But I'd only feel confident doing so if, like, I can feel confident doing so alongside Minecraft, but I've been putting a lot of hours into Minecraft, so, you know, that's the only thing that I'd feel confident doing it alongside, not additional things on top of that. But yeah, let's see here. Let's see here. Main the beaches over here and Gulf are very vast. Gulf of Mexico, you should say. Probably not like a vast desert like that, though. I would imagine. Gonna be weird seeing Pokemon Legends Arceus and Freaky Breath of the Wild 2 in the same year. Yeah, that'll certainly be something. The one that I'm more excited about is Breath of the Wild 2 myself. Especially if I can break it as much as, you know, I would break the initial Breath of the Wild for anybody that saw that. First time I playthrough of that. I'll have about 2 or 3 more streams of Tales of Arise till you complete post-game. I should say about 10 to 15 hours. Okay, so probably not a whole lot. That's also probably not a whole lot considering I grinded up to level 70 after the last time we played it, like a month and a half ago or something like that. I haven't touched it in a good while. I'll stare at the water surface for too long and begin to forget what I was doing in the first place. Say 1 or 2 Dark Souls 3 sessions are needed. DLC 1's really short with only 1 mandatory boss, huh? I'd still want to do all the bosses. My goal is to have the entire Dark Souls trilogy done with, like, all bosses is my idea. So that's what I'm shooting for here. Gosh diggity darn, I should probably switch to Solio here. I've got nothing that's, like, super good in this situation. Have left in Tales of Arise, just a bunch of post-game. So, like, the main game is done and whatnot. I already have 108 episodes of Tales of Arise as is. So already, it's like one of the longest single game playthroughs I've ever done. But at this point, it's like, okay, time to commit and, like, do the rest of it. Because I actually did really like Tales of Arise, quite frankly. I love Tales of Arise a bazillion times more than I'll ever love this game here. Whoa! Whoa, that's a good animation! Whoa, that was actually pretty neat. But I freaking like Tales of Arise way more than this game right here. What games did I play this year? I was talking earlier this stream about, like, what my favorite games I'd played this year were, like, in terms of playthroughs, and what the most fun that I had would be. There's also, like, what games I played this year where it's like, you know, how much I actually like them as games. My favorite game that I played this year, in terms of playthroughs for 2021, would probably be Tales of Arise, honestly. Is what it might well be. I'm looking through my other playthroughs. What else did I play? Pikmin Bloom, the actual #1. Metroid Dread was pretty fun as well. I did actually quite enjoy Metroid Dread. What other things do we have here? The Assassin's Creed Rogue playthrough was pretty fun. Like, I always have a soft spot for AC4 and Rogue and such. Oh, I guess right at the beginning of the year, the first playthrough we did this year for, like, January 1st was Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, so that's definitely up there. Do definitely love me that game. Yeah, there were some good games we covered this year. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of good games that we cover next year as well. And the year after that, and the year after that. And I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, but we'll see here. That probably would be. It probably would be. I haven't played like a massive ton of JRPGs. Fire Emblem Fates Route 1. Yeah, we did do the first route being a Birthright of Fire Emblem Fates. That was a pretty fun playthrough. And it had like a pretty good reception as well. Like, the two biggest games on my channel, like, for playthrough games, viewership-wise, are Pokemon and Fire Emblem, interestingly enough. So, maybe that's what I should do, like, Fire Emblem, is sometimes shortly after we're done with Legends Arceus. Like, do this game, then Legends Arceus, then do, like, our next, we can get it later, I guess. Because Leaf Storm, like, reduces your stuff. That might be a pretty good idea, actually. Especially for, like, the tougher... gosh darn it. Do I have any heart scales? I think I screwed up. I probably do actually want it. Probably replace, like, Razor Leaf or something. I want to leave you be, just in case I do use you to get that one glitch at some point. But, like... oh, I can't even battle you anyway. We can get Leaf Storm, like, another time. We can use Razor Leaf through the, Pokemon League and whatnot. Found you because of Fire Emblem. That Awakening playthrough was such a fun watch. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people found me through the Awakening playthrough, which is really cool to see. So, like, it seems like the two biggest IPs I can cover on this channel are Pokemon and Fire Emblem, which makes me think, like, maybe I should only be doing one at a time. So I mentioned how, like, sometime after Legends Arceus, maybe we do, like, a Pokemon Sun and Moon Soul Link later down the line. Maybe before that, we would do the final route of Fire Emblem Three Houses. And sometime later, we can do, like, the next route of Conquest or something. And then more Pokemon. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let's see here. I'll respond to that in a hot second. Let's just go to Victory Road for a hot second. We'll go heal up, and then we'll go do that. And then I'll talk about, like, future Zelda games that we'll be covering. Well, does this take, like, a dedicated thing we're about to talk about? I guess it can. So I'll start talking about it when we go into Victory Road, because that'll probably be the start of, like, a new part. I'm trying to break this up in, like, logical ways. We shall see. A very little Lunatic Plus content. Yeah, that, I guess that also helped me stand out there. Like, I think there's very few people that have done, like, a full playthrough of Lunatic Plus. There's a lot of people out there that have done, like, a playthrough of up to Chapter 4, and, like, you know, the final boss, and not really a whole lot of in-between. Whereas I did, like, the full in-between and such on Lunatic Plus, so it was something very different there.